Good afternoon, YouTube. It is I, Danielle, better known as Danielle Happy Medium. And in this video up for discussion today, I'd like to just discuss a little bit with you about labels and the terminology we use within mediumship and why labels really aren't that important. So if you're the budding medium out there, or for those who have been working in the industry for many, many years, you'll have heard of the terminologies of doorkeepers, gatekeepers, angels, archangels, all these sort of labels we have attached to what is energy. And for most of the budding mediums out there, and because you're still learning, sort of working through these things, labels can sort of help you or help the conscious mind find a place of peace within the energies, or the energies in which that your mind perceives when you're working with energy. As we've learned and moved further down the path, labels become less and less important, and ultimately understanding that what we're working with when we're working with loved ones, guides, angels, whatever it may be, is just a perception or how your mind is perceiving that energy at that particular time. I've got on my YouTube channel things about doorkeepers, main guides, these types of things. And I understand that I've actually put labels to them energies, and I'm comfortable enough to say these things. I'm happy enough to be able to add them labels to that particular sort of energy, because when I've done more work within the spiritual realms, and I've worked with many different guides over many different years, what I've come to understand is that many guides in the spiritual realms have worked extensively within certain particular areas of which their knowledge base sits. So when we talk about labels or perceptions of the energy in which that you see in the spiritual realms, what we have to understand is that each and every one of us will see this energy differently, but the labels may or may not be fitting, depending on where you sit comfortably within your mediumship. Some people who work with absolutely no guides and have no labels at all for any of them guides. Some of us need these labels and are quite happy to live with them labels with their particular guides in which they work with. No one is no right, no one is no wrong. It's where you sit within your mediumship and what feels most comfortable to you with your belief. Personally, I've seen both sides. So I've seen that I put labels because of the extensive knowledge or learning and growth I've learned within the spiritual world through my development and through working with different guides. I also have the other side of the coin, which is seeing students who work with no guides whatsoever, or some of the more professional mediums out there who don't know who any of their guides are. And again, I don't mind either one of them there. But I really thought it was important to talk about labels, talk about how much emphasis we maybe hold upon them labels, and if them labels can be altered and changed over time. Learning to understand that the guides in which that work with you are people who have done great knowledge or great learning within the spiritual realms and will have extensive knowledge in one particular area. Doorkeepers, for example, have been around many, many times and have worked with many minds over many, many years and have gained a lot of experience through working with lots of different mediums over their lifetime, or through their energy, or through their progression, as we like to put it. Angels, again, it's only but a perception of how the mind sees that energy. It does not mean that it's right, wrong, or indifferent. It's just how your mind perceives that energy at that time. Some people say they don't see angels at all. That doesn't mean to say that they're not there. It's just that that mind perceives the energy a little differently. We could talk about ascending masters, so St. Mary or Mother Teresa or Jesus or whatever it may be there. Again, it's just a perception of how your mind sees that energy. More so when we take this down into our mediumship development, or how we work with the spirit world when we're doing our development. What we have to understand is that each medium's unique. We all see things very, very differently, and we all see things in a way that is easy for our mind to comprehend. As we move further along the path, our mind will expand and our mind will become more and more limitless, allowing more depth of the information or more depth of the energy as we work with it. Less and less restrictions maybe of the labels, or the labels may stay depending on how comfortable you feel. There is no right or wrong here. All it is that as you grow and as you evolve, the labels may stay or may not stay. But always remember the perception, sorry, my apologies, I couldn't get the word out there. The perception of the way in which that you see the energy is not right, nor is not wrong. It just means that that is how you see it. If you want to put the labels on it and that gives your mind a good place and a safe place to be, then that's okay. But don't ever not understand that these guides, that energy-based guides, haven't done the knowledge or the experience within the spiritual realms. And some guides learn quicker or learn more than other guides do. It just means that they have been more experienced or have learned more when they've been doing their tasks for the spiritual realms there. Doesn't mean that one's any better or any worse. It just means one has more knowledge, and what more knowledge it may like to share with that particular mind there. But really in this video, I really want to talk about labels and how much these labels are only but a perception of what you perceive when you're working with the spiritual world, or really when you're working with the energy there. And all I can say to you who's maybe watching this video, it's up to you whether you keep the labels or you don't keep the labels. No right is wrong and no wrong is right. So I've been Danielle, better known as Danielle the Happy Medium, and hopefully I'll be seeing you over on Facebook. I did get the date wrong on the last video, so let me just correct everybody there. It is the 31st of July. It's 7:30 p.m. England, UK time. Wherever else in the world you may be, you may have to, check that out there. It's always a pleasure. Thanks to everybody who's been watching the videos, and thanks very much for all the support I've been getting through the Facebook page. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring this channel to you, and of course I will continue to keep doing it my way. And all I can say is hopefully I'll see you all very, very soon.